The wind outside is slow tonight. It moves through the trees like an old whisper, brushing across wooden beams and thatched roofs. Your home is quiet, and the fire in the hearth has turned to a bed of red-orange coals. You are lying on a straw-stuffed mattress, wrapped in a wool blanket that smells faintly of smoke, fur, and long winters. It is the 9th century. The world is smaller than it will one day be, but your world is full enough, full of hills and fjords, full of goats, wood smoke, and the occasional raven perched where it should not be. You are not a queen, not a legend. You are a Viking Shieldmaiden, not the kind in sagas who slay giants, but the kind who lives day by day in a quiet northern village. This is your life, and it is very ordinary. You awaken just before dawn, the way most people do. There is no alarm, just the slow shift of cold on your cheeks and the soft stirrings of chickens outside. You hear a dog huff once, then fall silent. You do not hurry. No one does at this hour. You take your time, sitting up. Your bones are young, but even they feel the cold mornings here. You reach for your woolen dress. It's plain, the color of wet bark, and scratchy in a way you've grown used to. Over it you tie a linen apron. You reach for your comb, carved from bone, and pull it through your hair, section by section. It catches now and then, but that's normal. You've braided your hair since you were 10 years old. It keeps it out of your eyes when you work, or when you fight, if it ever comes to that again. But lately, there have been no raids, no wars, just rain and soil and time. You step outside. The sky is still a grey sheet, like a wool blanket draped over the sun. The grass is wet and the earth soft beneath your boots. You pass by the goats, who blink at you without interest. One sneezes. You nod at him as if in agreement. You walk to the well. The bucket is heavy but manageable. The cold water stings your hands as you splash it on your face. Fully awake now, you look out at the forest. In the distance, it's quiet, peaceful, a little boring. Inside, your mother is stirring the porridge. Oats as usual, with a pinch of dried berries if any are left. She doesn't speak much in the mornings. She hands you a wooden bowl and you sit beside the fire to eat, slowly, without rush. The porridge is thick and bland, but warm. After breakfast, you begin your daily tasks. There is wool to spin, and you sit by the small window to let in the light. The spinning wheel creaks, the thread stretches, and your fingers move with practiced calm. You think of nothing in particular, perhaps a memory of the summer past, or the time you dropped your axe on your foot. It still aches when the weather turns. The village is small. You know everyone by name, and they know you. Children run past now and then, chasing one another in circles, laughing until someone cries. An old man sits by the docks, mending nets. His hands tremble, but he ties each knot like a prayer. At midday you help your neighbor salt the fish. It is tedious work. Rub, wrap, stack, repeat. The smell stays in your hands long after, but you don't mind. It's part of the life. She gives and you take, and in between there is always salt. You remember vaguely the time when you were younger, when you first held a shield. It was heavier than you expected, and your arms ached for days. You remember the clash of wood on wood, the way your teacher barked orders in the freezing air, the bruises on your forearms. You were proud of them, you still are. But you haven't needed the shield in a while. This is not a time for glory. This is a time for tending to goats, for cleaning fish, for patching clothes and weaving baskets. Sometimes it's a time for storytelling. Long evenings where someone pulls out a lyre and the children gather close, eyes wide, as someone tells a tale of Thor or Loki or some ancestor whose name is almost forgotten. You listen too, pretending not to know the stories by heart. Afternoon brings more chores. You help your sister gather herbs from the edge of the woods. She talks the whole time about dreams, about runes, about a boy who smiled at her once. You nod, you smile, the path is muddy and your boots squelch with every step. Later you repair a torn cloak. The needle slips in and out of the cloth like a quiet rhythm, steady and mindless. You like sewing. It asks nothing of you but time. And time is something you always have. In the evening, you help prepare the meal. Boiled cabbage, barley, a bit of dried meat. Everyone eats together. There's not much conversation, just the clink of wooden spoons against wooden bowls and the occasional grunt of approval. Your brother tries to tell a joke. No one laughs, but he doesn't mind. After dinner, you sit by the hearth again. The fire is louder now, cracking softly. You rub oil into your boots to keep the leather supple. You check the edge of your old knife, not because you need it sharp, but because it's something to do. Your hands don't like being still. Outside, the sky has turned dark blue, then black. Stars peek out one by one, and someone mentions the aurora might come tonight. You go out for a moment just to look. The wind is sharp on your cheeks, but the sky is beautiful. The northern lights ripple slowly, like silk underwater. You go back in. The longhouse is warmer now, and quieter. You lay down on your straw mattress again. The blanket is rough but comforting. You turn to your side, listening to the distant sound of waves, the creak of the rafters, the faint breathing of your family. You think about tomorrow. It will be the same. Wake up, eat, tend to chores, maybe mend a fence, maybe help birth a goat, maybe not. The days blur together like threads on a loom, weaving a life that is humble, soft, and forgettable. Except to you. You close your eyes. The world is still here, cold and